Good afternoon, Jason. Are you in the States or in Australia right now?
Yes, I'm in LA. Yes, in the United States. Yes, yes.
Excellent. Very good. So you are on with our terrific host, Mr. Brad Gilly.
Brad, how you going?
Well, welcome, Jason. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. Again,
Good.
just good to be here, and obviously, just getting through all the, understanding all the technology. I'm a little bit behind, so it's nice to be here in person.
Yeah, no, it's great for you to be here. All right, so help me out here. How exactly do you pronounce your last name?
It's easy. Just if you understand that, the jet ski terminology. So just Jason can jet ski, and you're done. That's it. Jason can just Kinchevsky. So
Okay,
that's
I
it.
like that. That's a great way to remind people. As always, if you have a question, just type it into the chat. We'll get to as many as we can, and we promise we keep looking at it. But we'll do everything we can to get some of your questions as well. But let's just start talking about Speedmaster and how all of it got started, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, there's a viral video that goes around, and it's a bit of a joke, and I always get bagged out about it in the office, but it's pretty straightforward. It all started with a bang, ironically, and that bang was under my dad's bonnet. He was racing a guy, and next thing you know, he's trying to push the car a little bit harder, and bang, something blows up in the engine. So he pulls over and has a look, and he's like, "Wow, okay, I broke something." And every good company should be solving a problem. And then that day he decided to solve a problem, which was he wanted to make that car part better. So, here we are today.
Yeah, well, it's amazing. The variety of parts that you guys carry and supply. I mean, you pretty much run the gamut, right?
Sure. We're very proud today to say that we actually not only, we don't buy products, we actually design, test, and manufacture over 25,000 consumer-facing products, that is. That doesn't mean all the white label stuff that we offer. That doesn't include all the stuff that we private label as well, So there is a whole gamut of that sort of stuff that's out there for sure.
Wow, that's incredible. It really is a lot, which is incredible. Well, let's talk about growing the market share. I mean, when you have that bang and you decide to do something better, and all of a sudden the next thing you know, you have a business. That business starts to grow ideally, and Speedmaster has grown in a big way. So, how did you guys grow?
I mean, that was one of the things I kind of looked at. It was really interesting because my parents, they started the business, and maybe I call them directors technically, but my parents started the business, and they were actually it was a day-to-day thing for them. That was just like, if we can stay in business, we'll be happy, that was something I kind of, looked at solving when I joined full-time in the global team. And that was solving a scalability issue. What I noticed was in 2012, 13, when I took over, officially took over globally in 2014, was there was demand but patchy supply, So the biggest thing that, it's maybe one of the most simple things, and we're having that problem today, was that we solved the scalability issues, which was basically, we ramped up. We're in 3 locations. We're in Sydney, Los Angeles, and Shanghai. We have over 400 staff that we employ, 500 now, but over 400 staff globally. And we basically worked all around our efficiency. So, there's really no secret to it other than solving the scalability. I mean, there is a market share. People want to fix their cars. People want to put new aluminium heads on their car. I can't believe it. Like, we're going through Black Friday right now, and behind these 2 walls, or these 4 walls right behind me, there is 790,000 square feet of products on the shelf that are flying out the door right now during this Black Friday period. And that's all because we solved the scalability issue, not just for us, but for the customer base, which might be Summit, Jegs, and all the rest, So, yeah, that was one of the things that helped us grow our market share. Definitely outside of that, branding and other factors that we probably wouldn't kind of share too much about. But one of the things was definitely scalability. So.
Well, I would say based on the sales that you're having right now with Black Friday and all of that, I can understand why things are flying off the shelf. You guys are offering some pretty deep discounts.
Yeah, I mean, we don't. So again, one of the things is that it's a kind of an unspoken thing that, if Apple was to sell car parts, it'd be Speedmaster. So we kind of go along the same ethos as Apple. We don't ever go on sale. Even today, right now, like if you want to buy an Apple product, I think they give you a gift card. That's as good as it gets. So we try to do the same thing. What we definitely do is, unfortunately, part of our thing that we discuss with our partners that we partner with. We do every now and then we'll do a Black Friday sale, and it is very, very heavily discounted, and we advertise that as a marketing ploy. We're definitely not making a lot of money from the stuff that we sell during this period, but it gives people the opportunity to look, feel, and touch a Speedmaster item at a very, very at a very, very reasonable offering, at the customer's expense. Yeah.
It's interesting when you start talking about, just being able to have everything that you have. I look at it this way, like for one time in my career, I did sell race car parts from a shop, for Legends cars and everything. And I always thought to myself that if I didn't have something in inventory, it was a lost sale. It was a sale that I did not make. So I needed to make sure I have it. But on the flip side of that, especially something as large as what you have, Jason, you have to look at it and say, well, yeah, we need to have parts, because when you have parts, people are always going to keep coming to you because they know you have it. But you also need to make sure that you don't have too many and over inventory yourself. That could be a problem as well. How do you manage that?
It's very difficult. Ironically, we don't. There's only one way of managing it, and that's making a business decision. And that's one of the business decisions we made. Is we're a brand. We're going to continue to be a brand. We're going to continue to make the products. And we have to make a conscious decision that we're going to invest a lot of money on products that aren't going to turn. And I've made that decision, and I've thankfully got the okay from all the the parties that buy in on that decision to say some of these products that we're going to have on the shelf for 2 to 3 years, and we have to be okay with it, because no one is going to come to Speedmaster if we only offer the popular items, and that's what's kind of separated us. That's what separated the men from the boys. I mean, we can offer you a small block Chevy manifold, but so can everybody else. But can everyone offer you an FE manifold? Can everyone offer you all the other variations? And the problem with that is it does come at a cost. So building a brand comes at a cost. And to your point, there's actually, I wish I could give you a special answer to say this is how you solve it, but ironically, there is no special answer. It's literally profit that just sits on the shelf for a longer period of time, and hopefully the brand continues to grow. And then when you do reach that MOQ, so if you have the MOQ of what we manufacture might be 500 pieces, and when we get to the scale that we are able to sell 500 every inventory turns, which might be every 3 or 6 months, we're in a very strong position. And that's just some of the hard conversations you have to have internally with your directors and with the people that are on the team to go, yep, we get it, no problem. It comes at a cost, but if winning was easy, we'd all be champions, right? So it's one of those things.
Well, that's true, but it like you say, it comes at a cost, but the return on that is people are going to pick up the phone and call you. They're going to log in and call you, especially if they know that you're going to have it. From a technology standpoint, I mean, you're talking about tens of thousands of products out there. Managing all of that, what do you use?
Yeah, sure. And it's no secret. We are very, very open. Look, I know that in the past, people wouldn't share what technologies they use because they're all competitive advantages, right? Oh, we don't, we're not going to tell you who we ship with and how we ship and all the rest. But honestly, we're an open book. If we can help other people, achieve what we've achieved, great. Because in the end, we're trying to build a brand, and eventually they'll work it out. So we are actually the global case study for companies like Oracle. So we're their global case study. So when it comes to being top of mind with technology, technically we like to be leaders. I mean, the leader doesn't mean you have to be the best, but we want to be leaders. We're okay to be, the top 5 or the top 10, but we don't have to be the best. But we want to be the leaders when it comes to the use of technology. So, for example, Oracle, we use Oracle. That's our global partner. So, Speedmaster is a global case study. So, I get to fly around the world talking about success in automotive with Oracle. And as I don't know if you know, but Oracle is the leading technology partner. People like Pitney Bowes, they enable us to ship our products globally from this location here in Rialto, California. But last but not least, I mean, even just being early adopters. I mean, in 2005, I personally helped build eBay Motors in Australia. It wasn't existent. And, we saw that trend from America because eBay Motors was massive, was absolutely massive in America. And we're like, hey, we have to do something here. And so we helped build the technology in Australia. So technology is not something new to us. And when we rolled it all out in 2014, when we copied and pasted what we had in Australia and America, it was very, very fast. And it was people like were kind of freaking out. Like, where did this happen? It wasn't an overnight success. It was 20 years of 10 to 15 years of trial and error in Australia that we copied and pasted. So definitely on the technology front, some of those brands, and again, I'm legally obligated to share those brands because, I want people to know that they are the best solutions in the market for sure.
Yeah, no, well, and recognizable names like that, especially, again, something that instills confidence. All right, so Jason, you mentioned the variety of parts and everything that you supply, and you talked about name stuff, you talked about white label stuff, but you mentioned a pretty high number of parts that you guys actually manufacture. You really manufacture that many parts? How many?
Yeah, and that's the irony, over 25,000
Wow.
car spare parts, and that's the crazy part, right? And thanks for asking, because it's definitely something I'm really proud to share because, we actually design, we test, and we manufacture all those moving parts. And not only that, we have, I think 4 or 5, maybe 6 SFI approvals. We have over 6 or 7 patents. We have more. I think we have one NHRA approval. So not only, like I said, not only do we design, we test and manufacture all those parts, and that's again 25,000 consumer-facing products. That's not including all the white label stuff in the background. So one thing the reason why I love that question is because it just like, you may not be able to tell, but I'm a young guy. And this is a business built around a lot of legacy. And there's 60, 70-year-old men, 80-year-old men in the background who have designed and developed this company from a ground up. And I'm very, very proud to be representing those men and women, in these sorts of meetings. Being the CEO is nice and being the face of the company is nice, but I just want you guys to understand that there's 40 years and over probably 300 years of combined minds that have gone to making those parts. So, when I'm in front of consumer facing people like yourself, today, I'm representing those, legends and legacy people that work for us, because that's who we stand for. So, yeah, I know I'm getting sentimental, but it's true. Like, that's who we represent. So I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, don't be sorry at all. I mean, again, to think a family business has grown to what it has grown to, but it's still a family business. I think there's a lot to be said about that. And you should, be sentimental about literally taking ownership in it and figuratively as well. But that number, the 25,000, how fast does that number grow? And what goes into the process of deciding, hey, this is something we should now manufacture?
Yeah. So again, every year there's probably close to 1,500 new products every year, of which probably 25% are consumer facing. And yeah, that's pretty much, on par with what we are. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. And it's, I know it sounds stupid, but that's the truth. I'm being completely honest. And people who are entrepreneurs out there who own businesses, who might be listening to this story, might need to hear that, because sometimes we do things that don't make sense. So, for example, we will get feedback from our customers. Hey, we need to make this. We're solving a problem. That's at the essence of every business, is we're solving a problem. So, hey, I can't get this item. Can you make it? We solve the problem. The other thing is that where we're unique is we actually do things that don't make sense. And that's what an entrepreneurship does. And that's what we continue to do. And does make sense. For example, I mean, we just finished a top loader gearbox. So a full top loader gearbox, which is like 60 years old. We make every component from start to finish. You can buy it in a crate. We assemble them here. We make every part. And you'd be like, why on earth would you invest all that time and effort and money, mind you, into a top loader gearbox? Well, wouldn't you do something current? That's LS related or Ford modular related. That's really popular. We're like, you know what, we're going to be here for a while, and we've got a long time to go. So you know what, we're going to fill a lot of this up. Fill a lot of these bags up with this stuff. So yeah, sometimes it doesn't make any sense. So I'm sorry, probably not. Again, it's a unique answer, but everyone will tell you how good everything's going. But sometimes you need a bit of chaos, So
Well, how do you fight the inner struggle too? Because a lot of times we see a new product come out, or, maybe it's a new brand or whatever it might be. And it's like, this is it, this is built solid as it should be, or this performs better than everyone else on the market and all of that. Time goes on, then people start looking at cost and all of those other things when it comes to the manufacturing side of things. You ever have to struggle, Jason, with the, hey, if we're going to build this part, we have to build it right, and let's find another place to cut a corner if we need to cut a corner. How does that work for you?
Again, we again very lucky, and again it's through choice. Yeah, we one of the things that we talk about internally is set and forget. So sometimes things do come at a cost. I mean, for example, I'll give you a prime example. Probably, I think, again, up until recently, I checked. Our manifolds that we manufacture, like a low-rise Chevy manifold, I think where our retail's $235, Edelbrock's $185. We're not the cheapest, but what it does mean, again, we've got it on the shelf. We want to set and forget it, and I don't want to go back. I don't want to have to look at ways of lowering the amount of aluminium in there. I don't want to have to look at ways of lowering the cost of the packaging. I just want to solve the problem of having it on the shelf, and when it leaves, it doesn't come back. And that ability not to have to chase, EBITDA numbers or public, if you're a public company or privately owned equity company, we're not chasing those sorts of numbers. Actually frees you from worrying about that, and actually ends up becoming a good thing. We actually are on a really good turnaround, or not turnaround. We're actually on a good trajectory because we know where we're going. So yeah, I guess to answer your question, we're not always going to be the cheapest, and it's because we choose to set and forget and not chase that bottom dollar, because it's never enough. Is it fair to say it's never enough? You're never going to be the cheapest. I think that's what we've learned over time. We've learned that the hard way. That's definitely for sure. So
yeah, well, you can't always save your way to a profit, and I like your philosophy, and especially when you said, hey, when it goes out, it doesn't come back. I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah, sure, 100%. And again, I don't know if that was an open question, but we talk about internally as well. Shipping an item, making a sale, engages. Like if you were to buy something from our company, and I probably was going to talk about this somewhere else, if you were to buy something from Speedmaster, it actually a human only handles a sale for no longer than 10 seconds. 4 clicks of a WMS button and 10 seconds. So a human is only 10 seconds away from the nearest conveyor. So you buy an item on Summit, for example, it will go through our entire infrastructure. Human handles it for 10 seconds to the nearest conveyor system. It then goes on the conveyor system and goes out the door. It is never handled more than 10 seconds. Putting that perspective of efficiency on the reverse side, if that item comes back, for good customer service, we have to engage in a returns department. Then we have to engage in the receiving the item, stocking the item, checking the item. Then you've got people in accounting who have to process the refund, and all of a sudden an item that comes back is engaging 10 people. And let's face it, if we want to offer exceptional customer service even on the problem, it means we have to engage more people to ensure that we have a good process coming back. So it's definitely set and forget is definitely the winning formula, and I guess that's the sort of thing that definitely saves you the money in the end, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. And are those some of the statistics when it comes to your company and everything that you're talking about? Is there anything else that you might want to share on that side?
Yeah, some of the cool water cooler moments that we kind of talk about are, I mean, like we've shipped over 9 million products, since our inception here in LA. I think we're just very proud recipients of 18 SEMA awards in 12 years. And I think that speaks numbers in consistency. I mean, you could win 5 one year and not the next. We consistently have at least one every year. We have 3. We have, I mean, like for example, we've been awarded the most innovative online retailer. So like to be someone who at our essence, we make car parts, right? So we make cranks, rods, pistons, rings, bearings, gas. They're not fun things. They're not, I don't know, they're not fast fashion or I don't know, all this, Louis Vuitton. There's so many other fun things. And like for us to be we awarded one of the most innovative online retailers is fun. So to be like that in online retail, I don't know, also just being one of, quoted as one of the fastest growing companies in the Inc. 500, making the top 120. So I don't know, just some cool water cooler statistics, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure there's more, that some
No, that is
nice
pretty
things to
neat.
share.
Yeah, and 3 of those SEMA awards happened just this year alone. So it's impressive to talk
Yeah.
about. Your company vision statement. I know you've talked a lot about it, the philosophy and everything, but what is that?
Yeah, and again, it is Speedmaster to be trusted and respected for our people and our products globally. And the reason why it's so important to us is because it was a hard road for me in 2014 and 15, building this brand. Because you've got to remember, there's 2 things that happen when you're trying to build a brand. You have to take market share, or earn market share, but you also have to coexist. To be a good brand, you actually have to coexist. We have to have people like that respect us, who trust and respect us in coexistence. So, for example, you've got Edelbrock, you've got Holly, Compcams, or all these companies. You have to coexist to become a brand. And I think the reason why our vision statement is so important is to be trusted and respected for our people and our products globally, is that coexistence piece. So I'll give you a prime example. We went, I won't, because you're recording, I won't go into too much of the gory details, but I was very, very fortunate in 2016 and 17 to meet a gentleman at one of the events, and I was begging to, for them to sell us the fast EFI computers. And I'm like, look, we've got this most innovative downdraft manifold systems. We've been selling them for 20 years. They're very, very popular. I just need an EFI system. And someone that was very, very high up, it doesn't get any higher at fast EFI at the time, Compcams, is looking at me going, look, mate, I just, there's got to be a level of trust, we're a big brand, we're a big deal. At that time we were proving ourselves as a brand to coexist. And he chose to trust Speedmaster would represent those fast EFIs in the correct method. I'm very proud to tell you today that over the last 5 years, I'm pretty sure we are one of the #1 customers for that fast EFI unit that they buy. And we try and represent that company in the best fashion. And hopefully, those downdraft manifolds are used in, beautiful looking cars, and everyone associates those cars and those downdraft manifolds with those fast EFIs. So we've earned that right to coexist, and that has come through a level of trust. And then obviously we earn our respect. So that's why our vision statement is to, not only for our products, but obviously our people. Even someone like myself, they have to trust me. And that goes across, not just across Australia, America, it goes globally. So that's why it's very, very important to us at Speedmaster, is our vision statement. So again, trusted and respected for our people and products globally, because, we talk about, I think it was, the title is, how, I forget the title of the podcast, but it's important. What was it again? Have you got
I have it right here. Journey around the world.
Correct. And I guess the journey around the world is to be trusted and respected, goes down to that vision statement about being globally trusted and respected. So the journey around the world won't happen if there's, it's just a local thing. So.
Wow. And real quick, you guys make cars.
We do. So one of the things that we noticed is that, SEMA goes to SEMA and PRI go to Dubai. And when we went there, we noticed that no one wanted to buy a crank. No one wanted to buy a set of bearings. And so people were like, why don't you make a car? And we're like, okay, all right. So to open up new markets, we decided to make one-off cars, and we sold our first one to an Arab sheikh. So it was like we make these one-off cars, and we select the buyers, and or not select, they select us, we select them, and we hand make one car a year with 2 people, like it was built in 1960, on the floor with blood, sweat, and tears. Because one thing you can't replace is someone's time. So you're actually buying someone's time for that car. It's just special. So yeah, that was the byproduct of visiting those countries. So yeah, we make cars. Sorry, am I rambling on? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No, this is fantastic. We really appreciate it, Jason. And again, just the company philosophy, the way you do business is the way people should.
Thank you.
And your dad and your parents, I saw them at SEMA. I saw your dad and your mom again, and I have a long history with them. I saw them a booth at the PRI show in I think in '99 was the back of the dome, little 10 by 10. And at that time they would stay a full month in the US, and to see how far that company has grown under your leadership, especially Jason, that's terrific. So thank you very much for being with us today.
Registering on Epartrade is easy. To start, click on the Join for Free button on the homepage. First, search your company to see if it's already in our database. If you see your company on the list, click on it to select it. Then, choose Claim Company if you are one of the decision makers, an owner, marketing person, or main company contact. Or choose Join Company if you are an employee, and press Continue. If you couldn't find your company in our database, select Register a New Company. On the following page, fill out your name, email, phone number, job title, and choose a secure password. If you chose Register a New Company, you'll need to choose your business type. Select Supplier if you're looking to display products or services and connect with buyers. Choose Racing Business if you're looking to source new parts and connect with suppliers. Choose Race Team if you own or are a member of a professional race team. Then, enter your company name. Please provide a website, Facebook page, or LinkedIn if you have one, and choose to either claim or join the company. You can view and agree to our terms of use here. If you'd like to receive our weekly newsletter, choose Accept. Finally, click Register Now and your registration will be submitted for approval. An email will be sent to your inbox. Please confirm your email address and you will be approved shortly. Welcome to Epartrade.